Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Now at 6, breaking news out of North Canaan. 2 people are in the hospital and hundreds of factory workers are being decontaminated tonight after police were called to respond to a suspicious package there. Thanks for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
I'm Sarah Sanchez. The FBI and state police are there as well. And here's what we know so far. The package was found at the Becton-Dixon facility off Grace Way this afternoon, and somewhere between 300 and 350 workers are being decontaminated. So what does that mean? Well, shower trailers have been brought in and the workers' clothes are being collected.
Now, we don't know why the 2 people were sent to the hospital. A spokesperson for the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection says it's a precaution. We have a crew on the scene working to learn more about the package and what's happening now, and we'll have another update as soon as we learn more. Still more breaking news tonight. Part of Route 8 in Naugatuck is still closed at this hour for a serious crash. It happened on Route 8 South, just past exit 25B. State police say there are serious injuries. We're working to get more information for you, but for now, you are being asked to look for other routes and stay away from that area. Also new at 6, a school bus driver's route likely saved a woman's life in Waterbury this morning.
Yeah, police say the woman stopped the bus and told the driver 4 men had just assaulted her. Fox 61's Joe Monte's in Waterbury with what happened next.
At around 7 in the morning on Thursday, Waterbury police responded to reports of an assault on Chapman Avenue. When they got to the scene, that's where they found the 38-year-old woman who neighbors say had clearly been beaten. The woman ran from the home and made it to a school bus in the area and asked the driver to call 911. Waterbury police say 4 men assaulted the woman inside her home. Police arrested them and charged them with assault and breach of peace. Police say the suspects and the victim knew each other, and the dispute most likely came from a personal issue. The victim didn't have any life-threatening injuries but was taken to a local hospital. The suspects, all Waterbury residents, are being held on a $200,000 bond. Police say the incident is still under investigation. For more updates, check our website, fox61.com. In Waterbury, Joe Monte, Fox 61.
The forecast now. The story kind of remains the same with the weather today. On and off showers, but it's mostly dry out there, although it is humid.
Kind of humid in here. As a matter of fact, a lot of us are hoping it'll stay dry for the weekend, though. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with the first check of the forecast. Rach?
I think we will see a similar story into the start of the weekend. So both tomorrow and Saturday are mostly dry, but there will be a shower or thunderstorm from time to time. And then Sunday turns less humid, bright and sunny, and it looks like we are home free by that point. But until then, we've got a leftover shower out there in northeastern Connecticut. You can see 1 or 2 up near Summers and also Stafford. In the next half an hour or so, we'll probably get the rest of these out of here. And then we're just dealing with patchy fog. Yes, the humidity is a lot more noticeable out there today, and a perfect recipe for some lowered visibility with fog developing. Temperatures right now are in the mid-60s to right around 70 degrees. And we'll see overnight lows near 60 degrees as we head towards daybreak. So we'll start the day off tomorrow. It'll be a little misty, murky, overcast, foggy. Clouds will break for some sun as we head through the afternoon. High temperatures will climb into the mid-70s to near 80 degrees. And there could be an isolated shower or storm, but there's a better chance for more numerous thunderstorms on Saturday. We'll talk timing, full forecast coming up.
Well, there is a new report out on the mistakes of Bethany town leaders and law enforcement and how they failed to protect kids from sexual abuse.
Now, this has to do with a former town employee, Anthony Mastrangelo, who is accused of sexually abusing children. Independent auditors found what they call critical failures made by prior town leaders, the current first selectman, the Parks and Rec director, even state police. They said the first selectman failed to fire Mastrangelo from the town when the investigation started. The allegations surfaced first back in December of 2022. The auditors fault a lack of security cameras, background checks, and other measures that could have stopped the alleged abuse. And they think state police had probable cause. As early as March of 2023, Mastrangelo wasn't charged for another 14 months.
And the report made recommendations to make the Parks and Rec department safer, like supervision guidelines, safety training, and background checks.
Fox 61's Kay Paddyfoot is pouring through that 230-page report. right now, and she'll have more on the findings tonight on the news at 10.
Well, now at 6, no one likes waiting, especially at the DMV. But what was supposed to cut down on wait times at the DMV is making people even more frustrated. Fox 61 viewer Mark Caputo wrote into us saying you should do a news story on why you can't even make an appointment for services at the DMV. Try yourself. Good luck. And James Imbert says he's been trying to register a vehicle through the DMV for over a week now. He got an online message saying that there are no appointments available at any offices until May 28th. So people want to know, why is this happening? Fox 61's Jamel Johnson went searching for the answers.
Hey, Department of Motor Vehicle Services, can I help you? Yeah, I was just wondering, when your next available appointment is. It looks like our next appointment isn't until the middle of June. Does that work for you? That's a long time to wait to get a vehicle registered. And if you've experienced this, then you are not alone.
It was all booked up. Everything was all booked out.
That's what Juanita Galloway said when we asked what her experience was when she made an appointment online. She says this wasn't the first time she tried to use the system.
I think it was a couple of years ago when I, tried to register another car, but it was a little easier because when they started the appointment, it was easier getting it then when they started. But now after they've been doing it for a while, I guess it's not helping.
She says appointment slots were hard to come by, so she came in person. Well, how long have you been trying to get an appointment?
Since yesterday, but they didn't say. They just was like, it's not available.
Galloway says she just got a new car, but has needed to rely on other modes of transportation.
Because I live in Ansonia, so coming way out is kind of hard, and taking the bus is not really reliable if you don't really know where you're going.
The DMV's Commissioner, Tony Guerrera, says people who are trying to get a real ID has contributed to wait times.
There was a little bit of a panic, so people started rushing in, and a flux of individuals coming in to get their real ID. And now that it's past that effective date, we're starting to see now ease up a little bit.
Guerrera says that even without the real ID, this time of year is one of the busiest for the department.
I would say between May and September. That is because we have a lot of kids coming out of school. They want to get their driver license. Now's the time that they can commit themselves to learning, get the road test done, and so forth. So we do see, a spike in the numbers come June, July, and August.
And while people have had trouble booking appointments online, Guerrera says it's been a game changer for the DMV.
6-7 years ago, you'd have to wait a long time. You pull into the parking lot, there's a line of people from the front door all the way to the parking lot. So the appointment system has been very good, but also what we encourage people is to always keep checking because those appointments do come up.
Commissioner Guerrera says that if you can't find an appointment online, then he recommends that you do a walk-in. However, those wait times can be long, so he recommends getting there early. In Hartford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Well, nurses at William W. Backus Hospital in Norwich are making their voices heard today. They protested this morning outside the facility to stand up for better treatment of nurses and their patients. Fox 61's Kayla Cade was there and gives us a closer look at the rally.
Nurses picketed for 2 hours before the rally, where the main takeaway was the nurses and their patients deserve better.
We want to be able to show up to work and be the highest quality caregivers we can, and we can't when things are like this.
Haley Jimenez took a stand with other registered nurses outside their job at Backus Hospital in Norwich. They held an informational picket line and rally Thursday where they raised awareness through written messages on signs, speeches, and songs. Are you on? Which side are you on? It was put on by the Backus Federation of Nurses. The union represents around 450 nurses at the hospital and its other facilities. They are fighting for workplace safety, fair pay, and their patients.
The nurses are burnt out. They're overworked. Burnout's not a choice. It's a sign of neglect.
Registered nurse Heather Brauf says the hospital has experienced a 70% turnover rate in the last 5 years with its nursing staff. She says this forces nurses like Amber DeSosa to take on more hours and even cover different shifts.
My schedule is 7 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. and oftentimes we're not getting out until 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, sometimes later.
It's not fair to the nurses, it's not fair to the patients, and it's not fair to this community. And we are demanding that Hartford Hospital and Backus Hospital do better.
Jimenez says they can't pour from an empty cup.
The nurses here want to show up and do their best, but how do you do your best if you're set up to fail every single day?
The union has been trying to negotiate a fair contract with the hospital for more than a year. Bacchus Hospital President Donna Hanley sent us a statement saying, quote, "Although we are disappointed, we are eager to continue negotiations as previously scheduled for May 15th and work towards reaching a fair agreement for all parties involved," end quote. Jimenez says they just want to reach a fair agreement.
So we can show up every day and do what we love to do, which is take care of our people.
Union members are set to negotiate with the hospital Thursday night. Nurses say they hope they can come to an agreement. In Norwich, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
Well, a New York man's been charged. Police say he hit a child on a bike with his car in Norwalk last month. Giovanni Holgan turned himself in yesterday. He's been charged with reckless endangerment, traveling unreasonably fast, and failure to maintain proper lane changes. He's being held on $50,000 bond. Holgan is expected in court next week. Surveillance video shows the child and 4 other kids riding their bikes on Wilson Avenue on April 19th. Around 7:15, he apparently hit the child, who police say was not seriously injured.
Norwich police arrested a man accused of recording women in a Walmart restroom. 21-year-old Grayson Weir of Sprague is charged with voyeurism. Officers were called to the Walmart on Salem Turnpike in Norwich Monday. They didn't find Weir. Staff of the Walmart said he ran out of the restroom. He was found in Baltic and arrested. Weir posted his $100,000 bond and is out ahead of a scheduled court appearance next Thursday.
A New London man's being held on $1 million bond in connection to a deadly shooting from March. Police arrested 21-year-old Navari Ziegler yesterday in Rhode Island. He's been charged with murder, carrying a pistol without a permit, and tampering with physical evidence. Police were called to Moore Avenue on March 18th for a shooting. First responders found 20-year-old Avery Rivera, who had been shot. He died at the hospital later. It's unclear when Ziegler is due in court.